Hi, hello. Oh, that's funny. I was saying we're flying so high, and then I said hi right after. It was just saying, like, we're going live, and that's where we are. Okay, so hi everybody. We are here today to talk about above and beyond. So we were debating on what to do because Savannah has this amazing fresh blowout. It's so pretty. And then we were trying to decide like what would be a good teaching moment for you. And what I was thinking about is, you know, as I've been lately doing a few more FaceTimes because we've had an overwhelming demand of FaceTimes lately. So I shouldn't say overwhelming. We've had a high demand for FaceTimes lately, and it's been very fun. And it makes me revisit like all the basics. But then in those, you learn like all these like beyond the basic things that are like so fun. When I watch other people curl, I see them do something that I'm like, oh, that's different and that's cool. And so I wanted to, you know, try and come up with like some above and beyond for you that can help you with like concepts. Because I love when you guys get the big concept of it and can apply it to like all kinds of things in your hair. So we're going to teach bigger concepts today within the curling.
I feel like we've been doing basics for a while, so this is probably a good switch up.
Yeah, I think so. So I think a lot of it should be in the lean back curl because I do think that one is so beyond what you can do with other irons.
Yeah, the lean back curl and then also the lean back in the like up and out one.
Yes.
Like doing maybe a combination of those.
I think we should do a lot of that lean back up and out. Yeah, because that one's so awesome for you and you don't get to do it very often.
Yeah.
And so I think your hair really shows. And then you don't have to, because usually what Savannah does is hers is more lean to start, but she likes it kind of more full up here. So that
more curl.
Yeah, you always go back in and you have to do more big time and all of that. And I think getting it in the foundation of the curl for you is going to be huge for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think we should really stick to the like from the back to front because I think that is a beyond the basics like big one because that makes such a big difference. So if you guys haven't tried to curl your hair in this way, please, 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 please try this next time. It's like such a time saver. It's crazy.
Should I do 325, 375?
I'm gonna leave that up to you. That sounded like you don't want me to do. You want me to make the decision for you? Okay, then I would say 325 because I like the 325 curl combined with that a lot on you.
Cool.
You just have to slow your roll.
Yes. Okay. So that's the thing that I always need to remember is slowing down. Because
Savannah likes the faster pace, higher temperature, and I like the slower pace, lower temperature because I like an under curl, not an over curl. But you can still get them very full with that 325.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things that I want you guys to take away from today is that you can change your temperature. Don't only curl on one temperature all the time because you can change up your curls just by changing your temperature.
I think that another reason that I've always curled on 375, I've said it on here plenty of times, but I always like that my curls last longer. But I'm wondering if it's maybe because on 325 I'm not going slow enough.
Yeah.
And so my curls aren't lasting as long for that reason.
Yeah.
So maybe I can get them to last as long on 325 as I normally would.
Yep.
And just go from there.
I believe in that 100%. Okay, so we're going to do lean back curl. I'm going to show you guys the difference between how she would normally hold and travel versus what she's doing. Okay, so normally she's holding more with the tip of the iron forward and going forward like this. But today what she's going to do is tip the iron back and then go up and out.
I love that curl.
Yeah, this is like, I see so many people create a curl like this and they do the rolling curling iron. You know, they like curl from the top, they roll it, and then they like have to unroll it like this. So that's what she's creating with this. So you get a lot of definition, a lot of volume, but you get this certain
leanness.
Yeah, it's instead of the curl being very like big and full, you're elongating it. So instead of it being like this, it's more like this. So you can see leaning the iron back towards the back of the room and then going up and away because that creates more fullness and it also creates more curl by going up and away instead of forward.
But it doesn't over curl the ends, which is really interesting because typically if I was doing this and I wasn't drawing down, my ends are gonna get really curly like that. My hair tends to over curl really easily.
And notice how she's curling. So she started with the lower back. I just want to make sure we're grabbing this. Okay, so you're doing the lower back, and then she builds her way up, and now she's working on the upper back. Okay.
I always call it kind of a brick lay pattern. I just kind of work forward and up. So I start in the back here, and I work my way this way.
Yeah. I can't what is the word I want? Overemphasize. That's what I want.
Yes.
Overemphasize how much you should try this technique from curling back to front. And I didn't even invent that. I can't take credit. That's our stylist. That's our stylist, Genevieve. Yep, she created that on a video, and I was like, why does she curl like that? And she's like, it's easy to take sections. I remember it was a big adjustment for me, though. Was it? Yeah, huge. You got a question, Jaquel?
Yeah. Stephanie said, can you curl your hair on day 2 after straightening your hair on day 1?
Yes. A couple of things you have to, so the question was, can you curl your hair on day 2 after straightening on day 1? Yes, you can. Let me tell you what you have to consider. When your hair is already stretched, the elasticity is stretched, you have to go slower to reset the curl. So if your normal pace is like this, I want you to go like this, right? Just a little bit slower, because just put in that curl and have it stay. Like, you might get it to shape, but it just won't stay as well. And that's the big difference between your pacing, is how long the curl stays. So if you do it too fast, it doesn't stay even the minute it gets out of the iron. And then if you go, too slow, you're over curling. So it's just, there's the gamut in there. I would take an hour to explain all the intricacies of that one.
Laura said, for every curl, do you always start with the light towards the mirror?
Yes, always. Because what the light towards the mirror does is positions this little swoosh at your scalp, this little guide at your scalp. This is the curling side, this is the straightening side. So when your light is in the mirror, it's just saying this is at my head. If my light is out of the mirror, it's saying the straightening side is at my head. So that's why we teach everybody that. But the basic concept is this has to be by your head.
Can you show how to get more volume at the top of your hair? I have long hair and struggle to achieve more volume at the top.
Okay, I'm going to take you from sectioning, because that's a very important part, and then Savannah will take you through how to get that volume there. So the important part is, if you get a clean section up here and a vertical section like that instead of a horizontal section, you're set up to travel forward right away and get curl right away. So I'm gonna go in and take a clean section up at the top. And then it's very important that I have my hair pulled in the direction I'm going to travel. So see how Savannah has her section pulled forward? That gives you tension right away, instead of starting here and then pushing and waiting for the tension to catch up. So that gives you a clean section to curl right away. Then you want to make sure that you rotate your iron right away versus later. Okay, so you want to, right when you enter, you want to rotate first, then travel. Because I see a lot of people traveling and rotating at the same time, which means your curl is going to start way down here versus way up there. All right, Savannah, you're on with teaching the curling part of it.
What I like to do is, if I want a lot more volume right up my scalp, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not taking too long of a section this way. Because the more hair that you put in the section, the bigger the curl is gonna be. And if I want that hair right at the top to be lifted more, I'm gonna take just slightly smaller sections on my part line so that it's a little more defined, a little bit higher.
Yeah, and it will also not weigh it down as it's cooling when you take a smaller section.
I just curl like normal, and then I just really would keep it lifted like this while it's drying. Drying, cooling.
Yeah. I got that too. I was like, okay. Okay, real quick, don't curl yet. I want to show people what you're doing right now. So what she's doing is, you can do a pick-me-up curl, which means you can curl from the top to the middle section, and you can also, instead of going over the whole entire piece to like define a curl or make it look more like you want, see how her tail dropped out?
You can see it has a little bit of curl up at the top here, and then part of it curled in the middle. So I can actually take that one out if I want to, but
Yeah.
this piece got a little bit of a bump right at the top, and then it just slipped out of the iron. So all I'm gonna do is just pick it up where the curl finished.
Yeah, so if your curl was curled all the way down to here, what you do is you
might be a
pick
good
it up.
example.
Yeah, so like here's the peak of a curl, valley, and peak. But her peak didn't peak very well, so she's going to pick it up in the valley to recreate the peak.
So I'll start there and then just finish out this.
Do we have
part
a
here.
blog that like describes that in detail? Because we should put that on the list of shots
I
we need for
think
like
that we
peak, valley,
do.
peak of a curl.
But we definitely, I feel like if we do, it's an older article, we should
Yeah.
definitely
I
and
think we
then
should reinvigorate
here's
it.
actually another one that's like too curly. So my angle here made it really wing out. And so I can go back through with the iron. I could do it with the straightening side too. But if I just go in with the iron and curl it in the angle that I want to a little bit slower, it'll redefine it in the way that I want it to.
Yeah,
look.
if your curls get too wingy, like Farrah Fawcett or Carol Brady or whatever, what you want to do is take your iron and start, instead of going an escalator down, you want to act like you're sliding down a pole then instead. So you want to change from doing this into this. Yep. So here's Savannah's lean back curl traveled up and out.
I like it.
We really forgot to instruct on how to do that on the left side. I think we should walk them through with the cold iron how to do that. So when you do left side lean back curl, your normal approach looks like this. What I want you to do is take your cord, which usually is kind of further forward than the tip of the iron, and I want you to pivot it so that your cord is more pointing towards the back corner of the
I'll turn
room.
to this side. It's kind of like
Yeah.
this.
And so-
instead of like this.
Then you're rotating, and you can see how. Can you show them the regular travel? Okay. So the difference is you would, for lean back, you're like this. Okay. So you push the tip of the iron forward and the top of the cord iron back on the left side. And on the right side, it's push the tip back and the cord forward. I almost said it wrong. Because that's what I'm used
What
to
a
teaching.
tongue twister.
Yeah, because most of the time, that's what people don't want to do, because when you don't know how to control everything in your iron, that curl turns out like wah wah. But when you get that curl right, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is good.
So,
It's good stuff.
yeah, good stuff, Maynard. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. It was an old one. Oldie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.